All right, welcome back. Sorry about the delay. Um, as you can probably see, I'm running a defragmenter. Well, I guess you can't see it. But right now I'm running a defragmenter and it was slowing my computer down. So sorry about that. But I wanted to talk about something this morning, at least where I am. It's 10:30 a.m. And a lot of these subjects, I'm surprised that I haven't dealt with them yet, or that I haven't focused on certain subjects like this one. Now, I know I've mentioned it several times, but we've never really gotten into it. Now, a lot of people are against the use of guns. And I, to an extent, am against the use of guns as well, because the bullet could ricochet and hit someone or hit me. You gotta remember, you can shoot a dog and that bullet can ricochet and bounce off a few things and hit you. I don't want to shoot myself. So I'm not looking forward. This is unfortunate that the use of guns is the best way to prevent dog attacks. Something that experts don't like to talk about. But that is just the actual fact. We're going to go over that on this video. Before I get to that, how many of y'all heard about this story? I already know that several of you knew that I would deal with this story. Oh boy, no, I was not going to miss the opportunity to give my take on this crazy story. This just took place too, in the Bronx, New York. This story just surfaced a few hours ago. This guy in New York City is in the Bronx. He witnessed a man beating his own dog. Okay? He witnessed a man beating his own dog. So you know what he did? He tried to run over and physically neutralize the person who was hitting his own dog. So in other words, he tried to play the superhero, the dog savior. Oh, no, you don't. You're hitting the dog. Oh, no, you don't. Here I come to save the day. So he moseyed on over there to confront this guy who was physically hitting his own dog. And he tried to restrain this man. And the dog owner then attacked this man, knocked him to the ground, and then he went and pulled out a baseball bat and proceeded to beat this guy with a baseball bat. So, how about that? You're out and about in a crowded city like the Bronx, New York. You see someone beating his dog, his own dog, and in a city like New York, you want to be the hero. Dun, 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 dun. You can hear the sound effects. You can see him with a cape on, and he'll have a big D on his chest for dog. Super dog savior. So he leapt through the air across buildings with one leap, and he tried to save this dog, and the owner of that dog proceeded to beat him across the head with a baseball bat. Are you proud of yourself? Let me ask you something, buddy. Do you think it was worth it? Don't you think you should have allowed that man to beat on his dog? There's no law that says you have to intervene. You could have simply recorded him, pulled out your phone quietly, anonymously, and recorded them and then turned in the footage. The police would have gone after him for animal cruelty, especially you talking about a dog. No, you had to be Superman, didn't you? You had to be the hero, the dog savior, didn't you? You've been looking at too many ads, too many anti-dog abuse ads. So he moseyed on over there to take a beating by a nutter. So this was an attack by a dog lover on a dog lover. Now, this doesn't pertain to the topic, but it's sort of similar. Rather than try to physically save dogs, just let them go. The same applies if you see a dog in the jaws of an alligator. Don't leap into action. No, just say your goodbyes. That's what you do. You don't risk your own life. Now, I bet you, now, this guy that beat this man with the baseball bat, they're about to charge him with attempted murder, as they should. Now you basically ruined your life. You have become permanently disfigured for a dog. I'm sorry, I'm not willing to take any amount of physical damage for no dog. Wow. How crazy is that? Leave it up to New York City to put something crazy like that out here. He tried to save the dog, ended up needing to be saved himself. Boy, I bet you he was screaming, hooping, and hollering, "No! No! No. You wanted to leap into action. You wanted to be the dog savior. Go ahead and take this beating." Very unfortunate. But listen, man, next time, just let the dog owner hit on their dog. You're not the one breaking the law. There's no reason to put your life on pause for stuff like that. Just record them. If you're such a dog lover, Lord. But anyways, people, it's better, and this is unfortunate. The most effective way to neutralize a dog attack is to shoot the dog. Now, the best example of this is police officers. They are the best example of why using a gun is the most effective option. Because police officers are the only people in society that have multiple weapons at their disposal. And they virtually always opt for the gun.
Peabody police say they were forced to shoot and kill a dog here that had apparently turned on its owner. According to police, the dog got loose chasing a cat outside.
A cop, y'all remember I shared this story in Peabody. A cop had to shoot this woman's dog because this dog was launching an attack on her. A cop had to save a dog owner from their own dog. So that means that when you're inside the home with a dog, let's say there's a child or a toddler, baby inside the home as well, that means the best way to prevent a dog attack would be the use of firearm inside the home. Using a gun is so effective and so recommended that it's in the laws. Virtually every state in the United States says that you are permitted by law to use a firearm on a dog that is approaching you aggressively. Even the law recognizes that only a bullet is going to be effective with several dog attacks. So look at the situation you put yourself in. Nobody wants to use a firearm inside of a home. What if you're in an apartment? You fire a gun, it go through a wall and shoot somebody. Maybe somebody beneath you, maybe above you, next door. And again, that bullet could ricochet and hit you. Could hit someone in the home. Nobody wants to do that. But yet and still, the most effective tool to stop or prevent a dog attack is a firearm. That alone, man, that alone should be more reason why they should be illegal to own.
Inside this home on Endicott Street last night. According to police, the owner and her boyfriend actually climbed on top of a car to get away from the dog. As an officer...
The owner and the boyfriend, two adults, jumped on top of a car, running away in fear from one dog. One dog, two adults. The adults running for their life. So what does that mean? That means that there's no such thing as adequate supervision when it comes to dogs. Not even a man, not even more than one man is sufficient to prevent a dog attack. Some of you may have heard about this recent story that took place. Where was this? I'm thinking was it in New York City? But listen to the owner of this dog.
Dog who police say attacked 7 people in Luzerne County.
Good evening. 7 people. One dog attacks 7 adults. So what makes us think that one adult is sufficient as protection? Okay.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Nick Toma.
I'm Candace Kelly. The owner of a dog who police say attacked 7 people in Luzerne County is talking for the first time since being charged. It's the latest development in an ongoing I-Team investigation.
The I-Team confronted the owner when he appeared in court today to face charges in connection with those dog attacks. 2822 I-Team reporter Andy Mahalchik joins us live in the studio with the story you will only see tonight on Eyewitness News. Andy?
Well, good afternoon, Nick and Candace. Ken Hicks tells me he never wanted these attacks to happen. He also defended his dog.
Now, let me stop right there. That's the type of thing that all dog lovers would say, especially owners of dogs that have attacked people. Oh, I never wanted this to happen. You're a liar. You're a liar. You couldn't wait for the day where you sick your dog on someone, on a human being somewhere. And the fact is, you've been getting off on putting people in danger this whole time. Don't tell me you never wanted it to happen when you're sitting there getting off on the idea of it possibly happening. You sitting there getting off on your belief that everybody is terrified, which they most likely are, of your dog, feeling some pathetic sense of power by scaring and intimidating people. You're not the same person with the type of character that's concerned about the safety and well-being of his or her neighbors. Get out of here, nutter. So dishonest and manipulative, these people, man.
And once again, we must advise you that some of the images in the story may be disturbing to some viewers.
First and foremost.
Now, this is the pit bull owning dirtbag. Okay, prepare yourself. Let's go full screen. This is the pit nutter dirtbag right here.
First and foremost, my thoughts and prayers and everything go out to all those that...
Oh, he's trying to project himself like a God-fearing neighbor. Oh, who's so concerned about the welfare of the community. No, dirtbag. You've been endangering the community. You've held the community hostage all this time.
Well,
Nutter.
it may be disturbing to some viewers.
First and foremost, my thoughts and prayers and everything go out to all those that have been injured by my dog.
Ken Hicks insists he never thought his dog would attack anyone, but...
See, once again, the dog owner who never thought that his or her dog would attack anyone. Why do they think this? They think this because the dog is not attacking them personally. And this is where their low IQ comes into play. because they then assume that it won't attack anyone. No, you are not the same as everyone else. Not everyone else is living with the dog or feeding the dog. Nobody should have to tell you this, but because your IQ level is so low, you need somebody to tell you this.
Never thought his dog would attack anyone, but police say, and now Hicks admits, the dog did just that. The I-Team spoke with 2 of the 7 victims. They showed us their injuries. All of them underwent rabies shots.
See, I'm not willing to go through this, where I need to go to the hospital, get rabies shots, be permanently disfigured, not be able to use one of my limbs, face the possibility of getting one of my limbs chopped off, maybe actually getting one of my limbs chopped off. I would rather go through the legal process after having shot someone's dog and being perfectly healthy and in good shape, having all my limbs intact. I'd rather go through the latter. Your dog with a bullet in it, now unable to attack me. Okay, that's a better option in my opinion than to be in this type of condition.
All of them underwent. A mixed breed mastiff lived with Hicks on the 3rd floor of this apartment building in Nanticoke.
Look at his apartment. You living upstairs in a big, dirty, dingy apartment building like this, and you got a dog? Let's be honest, dude. You can't afford a dog. So what do you got one for? Are you terrified? Feel like you need protection? When those little small men, he looks short too. Probably one of them little men walk around scared and terrified all the time. Scared of other men.
This is doorbell video of the dog taken early Monday morning on the front porch of one of his victims.
On the front porch of one of the victims. See, this is not even going to be possible with my house because I'm going to have a fence. Okay, and if that dog get past that fence, there's going to be another fence waiting for it. It's going to be electrical. Okay, so if you hear a squeal from a dog, it's probably done got shot because it trespassed on my territory. See, I'm not willing to go through this where I can't walk outside my front door. What if you got to go to work and you're unarmed and this dog is bogarting right up on your porch? What you gonna do? I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna open the door, and when that thing starts to attack me, I'm gonna let loose. That's what I'm gonna do, and it's gonna neutralize the threat. Okay, it's no longer going to be a threat to me.
This is doorbell video of the dog taken early Monday morning on the front porch of one of his victims. The dog was supposed to be quarantined at the time. Hicks pleaded guilty and
It was supposed to be quarantined at the time. Okay, another example that these laws are worthless. They will give a dog owner some orders, but won't have any way to enforce it.
District Court. The judge ordered him to immediately turn the dog over for the state dog ward to be euthanized. Hicks agreed to that order, but still defended his dog. You would agree, though, 7 attacks. People look at this, they're really afraid.
7 attacks? I don't. That's what you're talking. I don't think it's 7 attacks. I think it was more like 3 or 4.
But even 3 or 4 is a lot. People look at that and say, "Wow, that's a lot."
It's a lot, yes. And I say, you know, take it. The city has to take it in their hands, and I'm applying what city regulations are.
No. You can tell this guy don't feel nothing, and he's trying to cooperate. But his victim mentality, he just can't help himself. Oh, I don't think it was 7. It was more like 3 or 4 different people. Now, had the first person neutralized that dog after the first time it tried to attack, then the dog would not have attacked the subsequent people. So that one person who used a firearm would have then saved all those other people.
What city regulations are.
The investigation is still ongoing into the attack on a 10-year-old boy in Hanover Township. These are pictures of his injuries.
Now,
Hanover Township.
you see how they got this blurred out here? They got that blurred out. They got that blurred out because that's a hole. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a hole. And it's so graphic, they blurred it out. They had to edit it out. Now, with that image in mind, I don't want to spend too much time showing it. Listen to what he had to say.
Bitten. The little boy.
I wouldn't say mold.
Well, the little boy.
You hear that? Listen to this.
Or attacked or bitten. The issue is still ongoing into the attack on a 10-year-old boy in Hanover Township. These are pictures of his injuries. Anything else you want to say to people who were mauled?
He said, is there anything else you want to say to the people who were mauled? So the journalist asked the dog owner. And listen to this.
Or attacked or bitten. The little boy.
I wouldn't say mold.
He said, I wouldn't say mauled. He said they were bitten. I wouldn't say mauled. I will say mauled. The boy got a hole in him. That ain't no bite. Don't no bite leave you with a gaping hole in your body? Yes, they were mauled. Have you not seen the injuries? Dude, you need to take everything that people wage against you. If we say mauled, then shut your mouth and accept mauled. You ain't in no position to try to correct anybody in their take on what happened to the victims of an attack by your dog. The arrogance of these, get a load of these people, man.
Attacked or bitten. The little boy.
I wouldn't say mold.
Well, the little boy, the 10-year-old boy, people, some say he was mauled. And that was at your brother's house, correct?
That's correct.
And this is a bully breed. All bully breeds do is maul. As soon as they bite down, they begin to maul. They immediately start to shake. Yes, they were mauled, dude.
Correct. I'm going to say, I don't know about it. I wasn't there.
The I-Team spoke with the attorney.
See, rather than deal with people like this, unfortunately, it's better if you simply defend yourself from the dog. That dog would have been neutralized, it would have been deleted, and it would not have attacked the subsequent victims. And the whole neighborhood would have been safer. Unfortunately, for us people, not for the dogs, unfortunately, the best option is using a firearm. That's the most effective option to prevent and to stop a dog attack that's already underway, especially if it's a bully breed. At that point, a bullet is almost the only thing that will work. We've watched people use bats and all types of objects to stop a bully breed in attack mode. You can't. You just can't. Y'all remember this story? Rather than having your 10-year-old go through something like this, I would rather neutralize the threat and deal with the legal process for having shot someone's dog. And the scary thing about that is that when you protect yourself from a dog using a firearm, you may be forced to then use the firearm on the owner, because the owner might then unlawfully try to shoot you for defending yourself.
He almost did.
Okay? So don't blame me for this environment that they've created. The dog lovers created this environment.
Died in a dog attack. Now his family says complications with his recovery will cost him his right leg. An update to a dog mauling.
You see the title of this story. This story surfaced, I think, a few hours ago. It's an update to a previous attack. You see the title, still no charges for owner of dogs that attacked 76-year-old man. The attack happened in the family's front yard August 16th. Now, I don't know if y'all remember, but I mentioned this attack case around the time it happened.
Of an elderly man we told you about a week ago.
The night team's Patty Santos tells us what happened to those dogs and also why it's so difficult to hold dog owners accountable.
Beatriz de los Santos.
You hear that? It's so difficult to hold dog owners accountable. So throw all the insurance away, throw that out the window. This talk about how, oh, you just get higher insurance. No. Many of these people get off scot-free. That's not going to happen with me. If you get off scot-free and you don't do any jail time, you're going to be missing a dog as well. And I'm going to be injury-free.
Says her husband,
Owners accountable.
Beatriz de los Santos says her husband Max's recovery from a dog attack will take longer than expected. Doctors now plan to amputate Max's right leg as a result of the August 16th attack.
About to lose his leg. About to be permanently disfigured without a leg. The man will never walk again. I'm not willing to lose my leg for a dog just so I can avoid shooting your dog. No, I'm going to shoot your dog. Your dog comes attacking me, trying to attack me, I'm deleting it. More people need to understand that we have this right by law. You don't have to accept no dog attack. Y'all better stop listening to these dog trainers and these dog people giving you advice on how to prevent dog attacks, because they never tell you to use a firearm like the law instructs you.
But it cut in so deep that he had these screws from a 30-year-old surgery that he's got some screws on. Well, they tore off almost the majority of his flesh.
Okay. This man had surgery several years ago, decades ago, and the dog destroyed the screws that was in his leg.
From the knee.
No, I'd rather go through the legal process after having shot your dog.
Almost the majority of his flesh from the knee down.
Meanwhile, San Antonio Animal Care Services.
It ripped off the majority of his flesh from the knee down. Yeah, I'm not willing to go through this. I am willing to go through the legal process of having shot your dog, nutters. And this is something we all need to know. This is the best option, period. Wow, and it's the way it's most effective at preventing an attack, making sure the dog does not only attack you, but anyone else.
Says the dogs who bit de los Santos, a pit bull and German shepherd, were euthanized. The criminal investigation by San Antonio police into the dog's owners is still ongoing.
We have seen a lot more dog bite cases.
Personal injury attorney Paul Campoli says it's tough to hold irresponsible dog owners financially accountable.
And it shouldn't be. But listen to this.
He says attorneys have to prove police or animal care services had a record of calls or reports involving the dog.
So the dog has to have a history before they can do anything. It has to have already attacked someone. That's the free bite law. And that's what I'm saying. Dogs get free opportunities to attack people. And the owners are not required to show much restraint with a dog that doesn't have a history of attacking people. So you would have been better off shooting this dog after it tried to attack the first person.
When people get bit by a dog, they need to absolutely report it.
See, you heard what he said. You got to report it. If you're bitten, you got to report it, because if there's no history on that dog, most likely nothing's going to happen to it. But the thing I don't like about that is that law assumes that all dogs are innocent until proven guilty, that all dogs are harmless. that law suggests that dogs don't have an instinct to attack people, which they do. They have an instinct to attack and dominate, to attack just for the sake, the sport of attacking. The law does not take that into consideration. Instead, the law assumes that the dog is just as humane as human beings.
When that happens to the next person, there's going to be a record of that, and it would be much easier to...
No, we should already be able to go based on the record of dogs in general, bully breeds in general. We should be able to refer to the statistics. That's all we need. Stop with this individual dog. Oh, dogs have individual personalities nonsense. Any dog can attack, regardless of how it was raised. Even dog experts say this, so you're wasting our time.
Establish liability against the owner of the dog.
He says winning some sort of financial settlement is only possible if the dog...
See, these people get a free bite. So it's smart for you to use a firearm. No, your dog is not going to get a free bite. It's going to get a free bullet. It comes at me trying to attack me. It gets a free bullet. I don't play the one free bite law. And you shouldn't either. Okay, these people trying to get us to sacrifice ourselves. I don't think so.
Owner had renters or home insurance.
So you can only win a settlement if the owner has renters or home insurance. Really?
The dog owner had renters or home insurance.
Without insurance, as a practical matter, you're apt not to get a recovery.
Well, there you go. So the owner has to have all this insurance and whatnot, and the stars have to be aligned. And if not, you're not getting no compensation. Wouldn't you have been better off putting a bullet into that dog? Yes, you would have. And it's the lawmakers. It's not me. It's not anti-dog people who you blame for this. It's the dog people. Y'all the ones creating an environment like this. See, the thing is, you simply expect everybody to accept attacks. You don't expect people to be like us, to research the laws, to be armed and understand that we're going to fire on these mutants if they come after us. Yeah, you're not expecting that. But that's what's happening. That's what's happening, nutters. And I don't want to hear no crying after your dumb dog gets shot. You see, the everyday citizen needs to join in with the police officers. The police officers are setting an example of how to deal with this threat. Yeah, we need to follow their lead. What in the world is this? Whoa. Now listen to this. There's another recent story surfaced yesterday.
Saying that they were attacked by an off-leash pit bull at a park in...
Wait.
Two men speaking out saying that they were attacked by an off-leash pit bull at a park in Woodland Hills over the weekend. Witnesses say the owner ran away from the scene after it happened.
Eyewitness News reporter Rob.
Two men?
Rob Hayes spoke with both men about the frightening attack.
Dozens of bite marks mar the skin of Emeterio Marroquin's arms and chest. The Chatsworth man, a victim of a pit bull running loose at Warner Center Park in Woodland Hills Saturday afternoon.
He was trying to get my neck, so I'm like, hey, he's gonna kill me. I tried to grab his teeth, and try to choke him, but he didn't have nothing on his neck to grab.
Marroquin is not alone. When Patricio Fuentes heard screams for help, he ran over and tried to get the collarless dog off of Marroquin.
All of a sudden, the dog realized that I was there trying to distract him, and he jumped at.
Oh, so you got two grown men who are helpless. Not one man, two grown men who are helpless. And now they're sitting here showing each other their injuries. Right? Showing their injuries to each other.
The question,
like, hey, look at how bad I was mutilated by the dog. Oh yeah, look at this one. Oh yeah, look at this one. Oh, well, check out this scar. Just as helpless as all get up. They acting like some little helpless kids right now. They're all mangled and sore. Oh, look at my scar. And these are supposed to be the people that's supposed to protect us. They're supposed to restrain these dogs. And they're cowering like little helpless babies.
his pain at the top of the scale.
Wait a minute. Boy, get a load of these people. So if two men, grown men, can't neutralize one dog, how can you argue that a bullet is not the most effective way to neutralize these things? That's just what it is.
Oh, when Patricio Fuentes heard screams for help, he ran over and tried to get the collarless dog off of Mariquin.
All of a sudden, the dog realized that I was there trying to distract him, and he jumped at me and lunged at me and got me in the chest and in the arm.
Fuentes ended up with bite wounds on his arms and chest as well. Both men rushed to the hospital, seriously injured and in pain. Mariquin putting his pain at the top of the scale.
Oh, look at my scar. Yeah, that's a good one. Look at my scar. Oh, I was so helpless. Oh, nobody was there to help me. Yet you're the one who's supposed to protect us. These are the people that the law says it's their responsibility to always have their dog under control. Yet they're like little helpless toddlers themselves.
You can say like 1 to 10, like 10.
Oh, I hurt like hell.
The question now, where is this dog and who owns it? Witnesses say it was
one dog made easy work out of two grown men. What's that tell you? That tells you you need a firearm. You need a firearm. Okay? And that's unfortunate.
a woman. She didn't stick around very long.
She got into the owner took off. Another reason why the best option is to neutralize it is to use a firearm. She would not have been able to flee the scene had they protected themselves using a firearm. She'd have been at the scene on her knees crying because her dog would be dead. Okay, I'd rather go through that than to be a victim, have my life flash before my eyes.
Didn't stick around very long.
She got into her car right after. She didn't want to wait for the police and took off.
Fuentes says other people at the park may have gotten...
So what does that mean? You'd have been better off using the firearm. That way, the dog would have been neutralized, would have been deleted, and you would not have been hurt. That other guy would not have been hurt. The only thing that would have happened is the dog owner would have lost the dog, and rightfully so. They would have lost the dog that they let off leash and to roam around and start attacking people. So she would have paid the price. She would have paid the price for having been so irresponsible and reckless. But now she gets away scot-free because you did not use a firearm.
Better video the woman who left with the dog.
And listen, if not a firearm, if you're skilled with nunchucks, with knives, I don't care, whatever you're skilled with, use it. Use it and neutralize the threat. Don't sit around waiting for these people. And don't be a tree. Do not be a rock. Ball up and cover yourself up and accept a mauling.
It's being described as a pit bull mix, white with black spots, about 60 pounds. Both men eager to get that dog off the streets.
Okay, so this is the propaganda that pit bull advocates talk about. They say the media pushes propaganda. This ain't propaganda. This is two grown men who are attacked. Attacked. This is just a story worth sharing. And they would have been better off. If you pay attention, in every single case, people would have been better off neutralizing the dog themselves, just like police officers do. Now, ultimately, the best way to avoid being a victim of anything dog is to avoid dogs themselves. The mother from Perth has died due to capnocytophaga. Sepsis became severe. Okay, what's this? We're going to check out this brief video. Now, here's the thing. The owners, the grandchildren and whatnot, wouldn't you have rather just not had the dog there, period? Like, are you still proud of the fact that the dog was there? Don't you think it would have been better off to have never owned the dog at all?
A Perth mother of two placed in a coma after a dog bite has sadly died. 53-year-old Tracy Ridout was playing with a friend's dog when she received a small bite, the tiny wound turning into an unstoppable infection. Her two children bravely spoke to us to warn others.
Listen.
A GoFundMe page.
To warn others of what? And that's not what they were talking about. They were saying that there should be more awareness of capnocytophaga. That more people should simply be aware of it. For what? What's the point? What's the purpose if those same dog lovers are going to refuse to get rid of the dogs? What's the point in sharing this information with them for? What's the point? So, if you're going to be an anti-dog person, you got to go all the way, or else you're not going to make sense. Just telling people that they should be aware, that's inefficient. You need to tell people to stay away from dogs. That's the only logical thing that y'all need to be saying right now. Like, hey, dog lovers, I don't care who you are or where you are. If you own a dog, you need to get rid of it right now before this happens to you. Because this same bacteria is in the mouths of most dogs. It just don't lead to sepsis, and you don't know what's going to help it lead to sepsis. So you better get rid of it. That's what you need to be saying. That's what you need to tell other dog lovers.
GoFundMe page has been set up to support the family. A Perth mother of two placed in...
See, the world right now, y'all playing dumb. And, people, they don't want to be all out anti-dog. Y'all better stop playing. You better stop playing. Now ain't the time to be half-stepping.
From a minor dog bite to the unthinkable.
She's in an induced coma at the moment. It's just so her body can fight the bacteria that's in her body.
Forced to shoot and kill a dog here.
Sorry about that. Man, think about capnocytophaga. The infection that killed this woman. Keep that close in mind. Do you really want to accept a dog attack? You really want to cover up and ball up, stand there and be a tree? Even if the bite is not severe, you could catch what this woman caught and end up dying or getting a bunch of your limbs chopped off. I ain't willing to go through that. That is far worse than the legal process for having shot someone's dog. I'll even take an animal cruelty charge before I'm willing to go through something like that. So this is pretty crazy that using a firearm is actually the most effective, and it makes the most sense when you're dealing with large, vicious dogs. Use of a firearm to protect you from a so-called pet. Oh, that's a problem. You shouldn't need a gun to protect you from a pet. And that proves that that's not a true pet. That's something you have no business being around. And that's just what it is. You dog lovers, you get mad. You come here, you see us talking about this deranged culture of yours, and you get mad and you try to sort of smear our image and project us as a group of evil people. But that's not going to fly, because the evil in your little dog culture is mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. And y'all cause so much damage to other people. How many stories have we gone over where the neighbor was the victim? The neighbor's kid was the victim. Somebody other than the owner of the dog was a victim. I mean, and this might be the majority of the cases. Most dog attack victims are people who are not the owner of the dog. So other people are the primary targets, so other people need to be armed. Listen, man, especially if you're in a rural area, especially if there are no people around, you want to reach for a dagger where you got a bully breed coming at you. And look at how easily these things get up to your torso. These two grown men sitting up here showing each other injuries to their upper chest. Look at how easily these things leap off the ground and try to latch on to your face. I'm not playing around with creatures like that. You can leap up and try to latch onto my face all you want. You're going to swallow a bullet. So if we have to defend ourselves, let's hope, fingers crossed, that the bullet don't ricochet and hit us, and that it don't ricochet and hit anybody else. Let's hope, if we have to defend ourselves, that only the dog gets injured. And y'all should be ashamed, all you dog nutters should be ashamed for putting us in this position. Many people don't want to use firearms at all. And I'm not the only one who purchased a firearm primarily for dogs. I really don't have no issue with people in general. It's these mutants. Shout out to everybody able to join me for this morning rant. And I'm not the one who says this, that guns are the best way to prevent these attacks. Reality says it. The cops demonstrate it. Science says it. Especially when you're dealing with large, vicious dogs. So be careful, be safe out there, and I hope to see you on the next live stream as we continue with this crusade.